Kenrid here, and welcome to the Metropolis. On today's video, we're going to be talking about Apple and how their next big move, or one of them, is to drop the Hey from Hey Siri. Now, I have to give Apple some props here. I am an iPhone owner myself. I do have respect for the company. I have respect for Steve Jobs and the legacy and the culture, the mindset that he laid forth that allowed the company to continue on in a manner that I think is more or less befitting to his legacy, although playing it safe, still really holding the standard of quality. And with all of the wackiness going on with all of these various tech companies, be them Meta or Twitter, of which there will be separate videos for those, Apple is really playing it close to the chest and not really revealing too much. And I think this change and the announcement of it is pretty indicative of how close they're holding their cards, which is pretty interesting. They might, have some cool stuff up their sleeves. As of right now, though, this is the big change that they're rolling out. So all of the videos that I put out always have the links in the description to the websites I'm looking at. So if you'd like to take a look at these articles yourself, you can feel free to do so in the description below. But we have from Bloomberg right here, Apple's next change for Siri, dropping Hey from the Hey Siri trigger. Apple is working on a project to simplify the Hey Siri trigger phrase to just Siri. Also, the company's ad expansion gets a... Okay, this is stuff that doesn't have to do with that. Let's jump to TechCrunch. Apple is reportedly planning to simplify its Hey Siri phrase to just Siri, according to Bloomberg's Mark Gurman, which that might have been the article I was looking at. Right now, the quickest way to access Siri is to say Hey Siri and then add a command, but Apple's looking to make that process simpler by letting users drop the Hey in the trigger phrase. The company reportedly plans to roll out the change either next year or in 2024. So I am a big fan of this for a number of reasons. One of them being that Hey Siri sounds different from computer. I'm a Star Trek fan, just like anybody who has a pulse and a brain. And computer is the phrase I'd like to use when commanding my robots, when commanding my artificial intelligent devices. So, Hey Siri, as I'm saying that, recording this with my iPhone, hoping that it actually has not been listening to me say those words. I assume, since Siri, being one word, is the next step, I assume custom, activation words would be a couple steps after that. And like I said, I got to give props to Apple where it's due. Again, a lot of these companies are just going, I don't know if Schadenfreude is how you pronounce it, the German word for experiencing pleasure from someone else's pain and downfall. I try and not dabble in that in general, just for the sake of my own psyche. It's very easy to do with these bigger companies, and yes, I've got some videos that I'm going to be making about Twitter and Meta and Amazon and the FANG companies, the tech companies, and I don't say that flippantly. I'm a millennial tech aficionado. It's what I was raised on. I'm a big fan, but there is rumblings of the downfall for some legacy FANG companies. And I say FANG, I know Twitter's not part of that, but FANG is Facebook, Apple, Netflix, Google, and there's another one I'm missing on there. But those are the top ones. And Apple really have, I think it might be Alphabet, as in, well, that might be G. Anyways, Apple really has done a great job, even though they've been hurt, which should be the biggest quotation marks. They've had to pull back production, as far as I remember, for some of their devices because it did not meet the market demand, because November 2022 and prior to this recently, let's be real, what? But they have been able to strategically, as far as I can tell, snipe up opportunities to not lose revenue and to run a tight ship while innovating more or less. And this is a fundamental change that I think is it's good for the app, it's good for the company, it's good for their AI, it's good for, user experience. I think having just the word Siri instead of Hey Siri, it might seem very innocuous, but it is a further step towards. It's wild for me right now to realize that the company Neuralink, which is in my mind one of the first companies that could be interfacing the common everyday plebeian with their iPhones somehow, is run by the same person who is destroying one of the legacy social media companies right now. And I don't know if run by is the right word. Funded by, maybe. But the idea that, as Steve Jobs famously said, you might not know this if you're not a Jobs head, such as me, but Steve Jobs, in his big pitch for the personal computer, was to say that it is like a bicycle for your mind. And to think that Hey Siri could become just Siri, or could just become Thought Impulse, or could just become like a finger tap, that is the direction that we need to go. It might not seem like a big thing, but the less time it takes to access the command or phrase or whatever it is, the sooner we get on about our day. So I give them props here for this. The technical hurdles that this will need to overcome, the logistic hurdles, it's not really something to be taken lightly, given the fact that I'm sure this is integrated at almost like the ground level within their software. The command word, the wake word, I think it's called, is in waking up, being Hey Siri, is embedded within the framework of the iPhone, fundamental architecture. So I can imagine that rooting that out and just having it be Siri is no small task. I'm looking forward to it. I hope it rolls out ASAP. Like I said, my ideal scenario is that I say computer, and just like Captain Janeway or John Luke Picard or whomever, Michael Burnham, I can easily just say computer, phone, pull up anime furry porn. And anime furry porn I shall have. Or whatever I'm looking for at that time. I will also say that Siri has unequivocally been the best voice recognition software that I've used. I myself am something of a developer, and I have dabbled with voice recognition software and coding voice recognition into applications, and there are some decently impressive voice recognition abilities within browsers and within other bits of hardware and whatnot, but Siri has to this point been the best one so far. So that's pretty much it. I give Apple props for this decision, for the fact that this is one of their announcements, especially given the fact that, like I said, all these other companies, not all of them, but a number of the other companies within the same space are in a weird place right now. Even Amazon, which lost $1 trillion, they lost like what was formerly Apple's net worth, which is just cuckoo, cuckoo, bonkers, Eggman, I am the walrus, etc. And they're not really, this might be something that comes out later. I'll do a video on this as well. But this is not the upfront thing. They're letting Meta burn while they know they have this AR, VR, mixed reality, extended reality headset in the works. So I have to give them props for what I will say is a keen eye on the user experience. Tim Cook has been, as far as I can tell, pretty in line with Jobs' original vision of making that bicycle for your mind experience, making that symbiotic, approachable, organic feeling, fashionable, ergonomic sort of movement towards a symbiotic experience with the technology. And as innocuous as it seems, removing the one word is going to save us all time, and also just make it feel like a more extension of, to make it feel like more of an extension of ourselves. So I give them props for that, and downplaying some of this more exciting stuff that they have going on, which I'm sure will, I'll do videos on. But like I said, I appreciate their user experience focused mindset, and I know that'll play into this headset and whatnot. But kudos to them. This is a good call, dropping the hey from Hey Siri. Kudos to them for not being another one of the number of companies that have been having mixed results lately. And let me know what you think. Are you going to miss the hey? Do you want to keep saying Hey Siri? Would you prefer to say something else? Do you not even use Apple? Do you hate Apple? Let me know. I'm curious to see your thoughts in the comment sections below. Until next time, peace out.